Okay, Lamai, good evening. Uh, Today my focus is to start new chapter 8, right? Chapter 8, that's public finance, or we can say, Puta, the government. 1 minute. Can't you see the screen, Lamai? I mean, not the whiteboard, the tube I'm sharing?
Can
Can,
see.
sir.
Can now. Right. Our lesson, Puta, that's called chapter 8, government economics, Lamai. We're going to talk about government. Right? Government economics, or this is very common usage is public finance. Public finance. I'm going to discuss this the lesson basically into two parts. Okay, two parts. The lesson is government economics or public finance. Mainly, there are two parts. The first part and second part. Uh, on these two parts, Buddha, I'm going to focus on basically 5 areas. Okay, I'm giving you, just introduction, map, roadmap of the lesson, right? Mainly, there are 5 areas, Buddha. The first one is, give me 1 minute. Right. But the press part is in the press tube, we are going to talk about market failure. Market failure. Okay, the Lamai. So I'll explain that point today. Market failure. It's mean with the you know market free market economic system. Government has, can say, unavoidable responsibility, or we can say inevitable responsibility in the government. Government has to do in the market economy. Government has to do something. Unavoidable role in the market economy. Okay, because Lamai, we know that market economy is really efficient in terms of production. Okay, market economy is really efficient, so efficient in terms of production, but especially in resource allocation. You know that economic efficiency contains two parts. What are the two parts, Punara? Economic efficiency. To achieve economic efficiency, we need to have another two subcomponents.
Productive efficiency.
Productive efficiency, and what is other one for economic efficiency? Other one is allocative efficiency. When it comes to market economy, the free market economic system is so efficient in terms of production. It's mean productively they are efficient, but allocative efficiency is not there. Okay, so allocate market economy, maybe allocatively efficient. So government has to intervene. Government has a responsibility to correct this market failure. I'll explain what it means, market failure and all. So government has a role. So market failure, then Buddha, we need to discuss market failure, government role, government role. Oh, what should government do in the free market economic system, right? What are the unavoidable roles, right? Government intervention, government intervention puta. Finally, though, even though government involves to correct market failure puta, finally, government also fails due to inherent characteristics, properties of government sector. Because, uh, talking government sector puta, government has a, the set of weaknesses, right? It's not common only for Sri Lanka, but also for all countries in the world, right? Government is sometimes inefficient to that, right? Government has, the weaknesses itself. So due to this inherited weaknesses, Puta, government fails to do what government wants to do in a free market economy. That is called government failure. So in the pursuit, Buddha, we are going to discuss but this is a small description. Government failure, right? This is the the coverage of the coverage of pursuit. We are going to focus these areas with the number one, market failure. Second one, government intervention. Why does government intervene? Government has unavoidable role to correct market failures. Finally, Buddha, due to some weaknesses, right, inherited, right, or we can say own weaknesses. Government has some weaknesses itself. Due to these weaknesses, Buddha, government fails. That is called government fail, right? This is the first area we're going to focus on. For the second area, in the second tute, we're going to talk about government expenditure and income, right? It's mean, the government main income is tax revenue, and also government has to spend with that. So the main second point, we're going to discuss government income and expenditure, government income and expenditure. Put for these two parts, you need to have practical side. You have to go through annual reports, because you should have thorough knowledge, right? The comprehensive idea on the government income, tax rates, or what are the main sources of government income, and the what is the contribution of income tax to the government tax revenue, right? And what are the the taxes that government has recently introduced. Okay, and so you should have the comprehensive idea, very detailed explanations regarding government income and expenditure, especially my data. So you have to go through annual reports. But the your the annual report that you need to refer on is 2024 annual report, both 2024 and 2025, but main focus goes to 2024 annual report, right? Government income and expenditure. Third category, Buddha, third one, budget, government budget, right? You might have heard this word, Buddha. Every president or ministry of finance, our president, okay, gives the speech, right? Budget speech in November every year, right? That is called government budget. We are going to talk about budget process and everything. How is it introduced, and what are the the steps or processes that we need to follow, right? Budget. Then the budget, and normally in Sri Lankan budget we have a deficit. Deficit means government expenditure exceeds tax revenue. So if there's a budget deficit, we have to finance it, right? We have to finance it. So that is called budget deficit financing. What are the sources that we can borrow from, right? Budget, and other one is budget deficit financing. Budget deficit financing. What are the economic impacts, Buddha? We can borrow funds from banking sector, non-banking sector. If you borrow funds from banking sector, what are the economic consequences? Okay, the lamai. So everything is going to be discussed. So budget and budget and deficit financing. This is the third area we're going to focus on. Fourth one lamai, public expense, public enterprise, public enterprise. Public enterprise mean government sector enterprise. Like most of them, have been loss-making enterprises in Sri Lanka. Example, for instance, we can say uh, railway department or electricity board, okay, have been continuously, they have been incurring huge losses, massive losses lamai, right? Most government organization have been burdened for the government because of the loss making entrepreneurship price. Okay, so we are going to talk about public enterprise as well. A public enterprise, public enterprise. And for the last one, we are going to talk about fiscal policy, and what is, what it means, and how does government use fiscal policy in managing overall economy. In chapter 7, Puda, we basically we did talk about monetary policy, where interest rate and money supply are changed by central bank to change aggregate demand in order to achieve price stability. Can you remember that? That's monetary policy. In this lesson, Puda, we are going to talk about this, right? Right. These are the 5 areas we need to cover. I'm going to cover these 5 areas with using 2 tunes, right? This one tune for this part, the simple tune, I think page 20 or 20 pages or 25 pages, simple. And all of other, I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5, these areas will be covered by second tune. Any doubt up to now? This is our roadmap. Uh, my focus, my target is to cover these 5 areas within in the Lamai with past papers. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Ayatmi, if you won't write it
No,
down, these are the main areas.
no, sir.
Yeah. These are the main areas we need to cover. If you want, you can write it down. Otherwise,
Okay, sir.
right. Unara, are you okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Do you have printed tubes, Puta, or hard copy, or using soft copy?
Couldn't take the printout yet, sir.
Okay, it's okay because actually I could need advance. I said it. Not tomorrow, today morning, right? Okay, anyway, right. Do you have printed tubes, Punara?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, good. Right. Okay, here we go. Right. Right. You can see the screen. Right. So that is tube. We're going to start the lesson with market failure. Market failures basically focus on disadvantage. Can you remember market economy? The market economy has both advantages and disadvantages. As I told you at the beginning, market economy is really efficient in terms of production, but allocatively it's inefficient. Okay, a market failure refers to mainly Buddha, the resource, the inefficiency in resource allocation, inefficiency in resource allocation, inefficiency in resource allocation. I'll explain this point. What? Right. For an economic efficiency, Puta, we need to have two main conditions. Two main condition must be fulfilled. Right. Economic efficiency. Economic efficiency. To have, to have economic efficiency, Puta, we need to satisfy two main conditions. First one, production efficiency or production efficiency or productive efficiency, product efficiency. Other one is with the allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency. Productive efficiency mean mainly with the producing goods and services at lowest possible cost. Okay, the lamai or the production of goods and services at lowest possible production cost, that is called production efficiency. Simple way, achieving lowest production cost of production lamai, that is called production efficiency. Puta market economic system is so efficient in production in terms of production efficiency. Mean as market economy focuses on profit, it is driven by profit motive. So they try to reduce the cost. So in terms of production efficiency, market economic system is really efficient, right? This one is fine, no issue with this. Problem is with allocative efficiency. Can anyone tell me what allocative efficiency is? Punara Ayatmi, allocative efficiency. Yeah, small idea. And definition and main condition. Yes.
Using all the available resources in the production process.
No. Something missing. There's a small part, small and important part to be included. Yes, allocating available resources to produce goods and services wanted by the society. Wanted by the society, right? Because we have, we have limited resources. We need to allocate available limited resources to produce not all goods and services. Produce goods and services which are wanted by the society, required by the society. That is called allocative efficiency. To achieve allocative efficiency, Puta, marginal cost of production should be equal marginal benefit, or we can say price of MC equals P, right? To achieve allocative efficiency, Puta, marginal cost of production should be equal to price or marginal benefit. This is a condition for allocative efficiency. So in allocative inefficiency means that these are unequal. Okay, the marginal cost does not equal price of the product, different, or MC different, it's not equal marginal benefit. That is called allocative inefficiency. For allocative efficiency, this must be equal. When it comes to market economic system, pre-market economic system, it is really inefficient in terms of allocative efficiency, right? It's mean most of the time with the marginal cost, marginal not equal, right? So this is called market failure. Understand, right? The market failure starts with allocative inefficiency. Remember, market economic system fails in terms of allocative efficiency. That is called market failure. Any doubt? Any issue? If you want, write it down. Okay, the Buddha. We are going to talk about allocative inefficiency. Allocative inefficiency is called market failure. Market failure fails market failure. If you want, write it down. If not, we can move into next part. Let me know once you are done. Shall we move on, Lamai? Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Ayatmi?
Okay, sir.
Right. Right. Put a star mark and write down market failure. In the tune, Puta, there's a blank. Write down. I'm talking about market failure. Write down market failure is essentially a situation. Market failure is essentially. What does it mean, Buddha? It's common. Essentially a situation. Essentially a situation where the market or price mechanism, it's mean market economic system, Buddha, free market price mechanism is inefficient. 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 Inefficient, we can say, Buddha, in terms of allocative efficiency. Allocative allocative allocative. This is called market failure. Okay, the number highlight in terms of allocative efficiency. Mean allocative efficiency is not achieved due to some reasons, Buddha. You don't know reasons yet. I'll explain. Right? Then Right. The second point, Lama, is such market failure is mainly results from demise of competition. Now, this is the main reason for market failure. Market fails due to what is meant by demise of competition, lack of competition. Remember, for a market economy, right? If you want, if one economy wants a market economy to be effective, Putha, remember, allocatively efficient, there should be a enough competition. Market should be perfectly competitive. If it is perfectly competitive, we can say, Putha, the allocatively, yes, market is allocatively efficient. So this market failure basically the mainly results from demise, is mean lack of competition. Okay, the lama. Externalities, these are some goods, sorry, some reasons. Externalities, public goods, and lack of asymmetric of information. Okay, the lama. Sometimes in the market economic system, Putha, we don't have perfect information. Putha, why do we need information? Punara, why do we need information? To make decisions, lama. Right? Because scarce resources or limited resources are allocated based on decisions. To make decisions, Buddha, we need to have information. So in market economic system, Buddha, sometimes we don't have, or both consumers and producers are not given perfect information. Asymmetric. One party has more information than other party. So one party, uh, you know, may have something, unfair advantage than other party. That is called asymmetric information. So government intervention might be, it means that unavoidable. Government intervention might be needed to overcome or correct such market. Okay, that's why normally we say that the government has unavoidable, right? Government has an unavoidable role in the market economic system. To correct these failures, the government has to intervene. Next point, it is highly noteworthy to identify that functioning based on self-interest, because market economic system is driven by self-interest. Everyone worries about herself or himself, not others, not the society, not others, right? Myself is the number one. In liberal market, liberal mean free market, lead to result may not be efficient. Yes. In addition to market failure, there ends to be high degree of macroeconomic instability and inequality of unfairness in income and wealth. Right. Listen very carefully. Market failure and market economic system failure are totally different concepts. Listen me very carefully, right? Market failure and market system failure, entire market system failure are totally different, right? Listen very carefully. Market failure means it's all about allocatively inefficient, right? Market failure refers to allocative inefficient. Okay, the line. Market system failure means there are two more problems in market economic system. Other one is Buddha, these are called three I's. First one, three I's, three I's. Is these three things, starts with letter I. First one, inefficiency in resource allocation, that is called market failure. Second one, Buddha, we can say inequality in income distribution. Inequality in income distribution, that is second one. Third one is macroeconomic instability in macroeconomics, right? These are called three I's. So that if these three things happen together, that is called market system failure. Entire system failure, system breakdown. Okay, Nalamai. System breakdown, that is called market system failure. Market failure refers to only allocative inefficiency. You get the point? Are you okay with that point? Market failure is one thing, market system failure is another thing. Market failure means the market fails, yes, in terms of allocatively efficient. Okay. Market economies, are not able to achieve allocative efficient, right? That is called market failure, right? Not only that, Putha, there are two more factors, two more main components in the market system. Resource allocation might be in what's called, but inefficient. That is called unequal income, right? Unequal, not equal, right? That is called income distribution is unequal, inequality of income distribution. Other one is with the macroeconomic instability. Okay, if these three things happen together, that is called market system failure. Market system failure, or we can say breakdown of the market, entire market system, right? Read next point very carefully. If you have any doubt, let me know. The market system, the market system, something missing now. Should be market system failure. Can you correct it as market system failure? It should be market system failure. System. Okay, the lamai. Because these are the reasons for the first one, market failure. Market system failure, it is caused by two main reasons. Market system failure is caused by two main reasons. First one, market failure, right? You know what it is, right? Market failure means inefficiency in resource allocation. The demise of competition, the creation of situation restricting competition or markets moving away from perfect competition. If market is not competitive, then problem comes. Okay, competition is cited as the principal reason for market failure as caused by inefficiency in resource allocation. Then Putha, then highlight this is the main reason for market failure. Moving away from perfect competition. Moving away from perfect competition. Then situation of Putha, don't worry about this market failure. Then what is second one? High level of disparities in income and wealth distribution. What does it mean, Putha? Inequality in resource allocation. Resource allocation, inequality mean unfair. Unfair income distribution. That is called inequality in income distribution, income and wealth distribution. Third one, Putha, situation of macroeconomic instability. Situation of macroeconomic instability. If these three things happen together, what are the three things, Putha? First one, market failure. This is first one. Second one, high level of disparities, or we can say inequality in income distribution. Third one, a situation of macroeconomic is okay, Buddha. If these three things happen together, that is called market system, entire market system failure or breakdown. It's mean entire system fails, Buddha. Are you okay with this? Both 3 points will be discussed in detail. I'll give you a small brief introduction for third one also. The situation of macroeconomic instability mean macroeconomic instability is not stable. Okay, in the market economic system, Putha, inflation might suddenly occur, right? Economic growth rate suddenly, falls. Unemployment comes like unexpected way. That is called macroeconomic instability. Not stability is there, right? Instability, especially in terms of inflation. We can say a balance of payment crisis, economic growth problems, I mean, sometimes with the economic recession. Economic recession might occur. Economic recession and sometimes inflation, sometimes high level of unemployment. These are called macroeconomic instability. So to overcome these problems, the government has to, that is called government role, unwaitable, or we can say unavoidable role in the market economy. I'll repeat with that. If these three things happen, the three things that I have already highlighted in yellow color: market failure, high level of income disparities, and other one, situation of macroeconomic instability, right? Both of, so not both of, all of them together is called market system breakdown or entire market system. Any doubt?
No,
Any
sir.
doubt? No, no. Right. Write down with that. Then let's talk about market system failure. Sorry, market failure. I told you the main reason for market failure is demise of competition or lack of competition, or we can say markets are moving away from competition. Okay, the lemon. Right. Next one, Putha, situations or causes for market failure. The creation of situation restrict. That's the main reason, Putha. This is the main reason. Remember, this is the main reason for market failure. For this inefficiency in resource allocation, Putha, main reason is lack of competition. Other than lack of competition, we can list down some other factors. The main reason, obstacles leading to said imperfections in competition or inefficiency in resource allocation can be stated as follows. These are the other reasons. Other reasons for market failure. Okay, Uda, we have to discuss all of them in detailed, right? Right. Let's write one by one. Let's write one by one. Press one. Write down. Give me 1 minute. Wait up. Right. Write down, Lamai. What is the pressed one for? I'm talking about. Can you see the screen? Yes. Okay. I'm talking about market failure. Sorry. Market failure. For market failure, Lamai, what is the main reason? I told you about lack of competition or demise of competition. That's the main reason. Lack of competition. Lack of competition. So the second one, write down. That's A is A. I think A is given in the space. A, lack of competition. To the second one, write down existence of public goods. Write down existence of public goods. Second one, B, existence of public goods. I'll explain what the public goods. Public goods. Public goods. B, no, C, write down inadequate. Inadequate provision of resources to produce merit goods, Lamai. Produce merit goods. Inadequate, what does it mean, Buddha? Market economy, market economies do produce merit goods, but not up to sufficient level. That's called inadequate provision of merit goods. Other part has to be given by the government, right? Fourth one, write down D, excessive allocation of resources. Excessive allocation of resources. Excessive allocation of resources to produce demerit goods. To produce demerit goods. Demerit goods like alcohol, liquor, what else? Casino, right? These are called demerit goods. Demerit goods. What does it mean, Buddha? The market economies allocate more resources to produce demerit goods. Okay, the number. I think other parts given. Other parts given, right? Fourth one, Putha, sorry, fifth one, the existence of common resources, right? Next one, sixth one, right? Immobility of resources and information, immobility, right? G, the existence of missing markets. Markets for some goods are not available now, right? Either demand or supply missing, right? H, Putha, centralization of economic power. Sometimes in the market economic system, Putha, the every point will be discussed in detail. Don't worry, I'm just giving a small introduction, right? Centralization of economic power mean, some companies or some businesses, try to control the entire market. It's mean the market is controlled, or we can say dominated by One or few companies, lamai. That is this real issue, because then they can control the market, lamai. If they want, they can increase the price, because the market is dominated by maybe one or few firms. That is called centralization of economic power, right? H. Putha, these are the reasons for market failure. Market failure. These are the reasons for reasons for market economy to be allocatively inefficient. Understand? Okay, the lamai. මේක හිතන්න එපා ළමයි පොයින්ට්ස් එක විතරක් ලියන්න මේ අපි මේවා ඔක්කොම එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරනවා. දැන් මේ goods ගැන හිතන්න එපා. public next lesson is පුතා we have to discuss these four goods: public goods, private goods, common resources or property resources, and sorry, common resources. Other one is quasi public goods. Don't worry about this. Just write it down. Okay? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Right? These are the reasons for market failure. These are the reasons for market failure. These are the reasons for market. I'll repeat lamai. Okay, I'll summarize the lesson. Give me 2 minutes. Our lesson is about market failure. Market failure basically refers to inefficiency in resource allocation, right? Inefficiency in resource allocation in market economies, lamai. That is called market failure. Main reason for market failure or main reason for market failures is demise or lack of competition. There are some other reasons as well. Main reason is lack of competition, lamai. Market failure happens due to these reasons, as we have just noted down. These are the main reasons for market failure, right? And then Puta, if we add two more things to this market failure, what are the two more things, two more components? Income disparity, or we can say Puta, inequality in income distribution, inequality in this income distribution, and macroeconomic instability, which is very common in market economies. This is called altogether, this is called market economic system breakdown or market entire system failure. Okay, then lamai, we are going to talk about four goods, right? Public goods, private goods, public goods, private goods, quasi public goods, and common resources and common. Okay,
Sir,
the
I
lamai.
can't see the screen.
Sorry. Oh, still you can't see the screen, right? Right. Now it's okay. We're going to talk about public goods, public goods, private goods, quasi-public goods, and common goods. Okay, the Buddha. Buddha, I'm going to talk about these four goods tomorrow because many students are absent. Don't think that we have come because Buddha, this is a interconnected part, right? Most of them ask me not to do this part. So shall we do some questions from money and banking? Guys, are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ayatmi, if you want me to do it, I'll do it, but it's okay. But I think it's better to do this the entire part tomorrow, and we can do one important question for 2024 money and banking entire question in the rest of the part of the class, right? Uh, shall we discuss? Right. Punara take the 2024 A level paper. You have that? No?
I have it.
Okay. 2024 A level paper question. Ayatmi, do we have the past paper? Or do you want me to share it? Ah, then it's good. Good. Then we can continue the session. Okay, good. Right. This is a bit hard question, Lama, to be honest. Okay. But if I have it, it would be better. Lama. Okay, you can give a try, Lama. I'll give you a few minutes. Right. Let's discuss what Punar. Oh, the Punara asked me, have you done this question already or not?
So which part is that?
2024 entire question number 6.
No, sir, haven't
No.
done.
Okay, then let's do it. Yeah. It. 2024. Right. 2020. This one to that question number 6. I think you can see the screen. I'm sure. Okay. Here we go, Lama. Name three monetary aggregates. Can you see the screen, Lama? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Name 3 monetary aggregates. Pudha, what is mean by monetary aggregates? Can you remember this word, Pudha? We saw this word in one tute under one lesson. Monetary aggregates. Any suggestions, Lamai? What does it talk about? Pudha, monetary aggregates mean money supply. Remember, monetary aggregates mean money supply. Monetary aggregates mean money supplies, right? Write down monetary aggregates mean money. Right? Money supply. Pudha, how many parts of money supply have been discussed? Hmm?
Parts?
Huh?
4.
4 parts. Yes. What are the 4 parts, Pudha? In one money supply, it's been narrow money supply, M2 broad money supply, M2B consolidated broad money supply, and very broad money supply. That's called M4. These are the 4 money supplies, Pudha. In addition to that, in Sri Lanka, Pudha, we use high powered money supply as well. We have discussed all of them. Okay, the Lamai. But here, name 3 monetary aggregates. Lamai, this question is bit important because the question is not asking you to name all money supply, all parts of money supplies. No, they ask only monetary aggregates widely used. What does it mean, Lamai? I have widely used in context of Sri Lankan's monetary policy. Yes, widely used. Monetary aggregates, money supplies, widely used in the context of Sri Lankan's monetary policy. 3 marks. Widely used. What does it mean, Putta? Widely used. If you go through, annual report, go through an annual report, I mean central bank report, or if you go through the press release, that there's a document called press release issued by central bank, I think after 1 month, end of the month, or I can't remember the exact time period, but anyway, explaining current monetary policy or the economic, the monetary progress or monetary, the current monetary situation, Putta, they issue a document is called press release. If you go through these documents, especially the annual report, I mean central bank report, Putta, you can see central bank widely uses three main components. Three main components in three main components of monetary aggregates. Now, not all of them. It doesn't mean that other concepts are not used. No, 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 no. Don't get me wrong. They are widely used. Right? Out of these 5, remember, out of these 5, right, the central bank uses mainly three monetary aggregates in conducting monetary policy. Are you okay with the question first? Tell me, Putta. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ayatmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then Putta, answer should be mainly write down the answer, Putta. This is not the, I mean, just don't no need to discuss, just answer, Lamai. We need to have background because this question never tested again, Lamai, right? So listen. Uh, These are the main money supplies. Mainly, Buddha, we have discussed four. Number one, M1 money supply. M1 mean, I'm not going to explain in detail. Buddha, M1 mean, what is the word? M1, hurry up. M1 lamai, Punara. M1 means narrow money supply. Second one, M2. M2 means broad money supply. Third one, Puta, M2B. M2B means a consolidated broad money supply, including that foreign currency deposits, FCB, the deposits in FCBU and in RFCD. Last one is very broad money supply, that is called M4 lama, M4. Puta, this is called M4, very broad money supply, M4. In addition to these four lamai, actually not addition, the main one, Buddha, the main one should be high powered money supply lamai. Main one should be high powered money supply. High powered money supply is represented by H, or it is called Buddha M naught. M naught, M1, M2, M2B, M4. Okay, put up the main one is high powered money supply. Why? Can you remember the definition of high powered money supply? High powered money is the money stock, right? The stock of money which gives the base for the money supply, right? Base of the money supply is called high powered money, right? This is the main one now. The main one. It's a part of money supply. High powered money or base money. Then Puta M1, M2B, M2, M2B, M4. Puta, normally central bank widely uses high powered money supply is base of the money supply. Other one Puta M1, which means narrow money supply, and M2B. M2B. These are the three concepts, three monetary aggregates which are widely used by central bank in conducting monetary policy. Okay, Dalamai. Here you should have mainly Puta, you should have thorough understanding about monetary aggregates, number one. Mainly these, there are four. In addition to that, Puta, we have to take that high powered money supply as well, which is base of the money supply. Other part, Puta, you need to have the good understanding regarding the components which are widely used by central bank. Okay, the Lamai. So these are the main three monetary aggregates which are widely used by central bank in conducting monetary policy. Then Puta, answer should be high powered money supply, narrow money supply, and consolidated broad money supply. Any question?
No, sir.
No. Punara?
No, sir.
No. Everything clear? No issue. Right. What is second one? Right. What is second question, Lamai? Second one. What factors have contributed? What factors have contributed Sri Lanka's inflation to be continued at single digit? I expected examiner to ask this question. Okay, the Lamai. Because it is a very very practical question. Okay, what factors have contributed Sri Lanka's inflation to be continued at a single digit? Single digit mean less than 10%, like 5%, 6% level since the end of 2023 from its peak level of around 70% recorded in September 2022. So remember 2022, that was the, we can say, Buddha, the very the burst, right? The burst time period that we have ever experienced, right? September 2022, inflation rate was, monthly inflation rate was 70%. Then if you calculate the monthly 70% multiplied by 12, 70% into 12%, 12, it's been for 840 inflation rate, 840, right? Yes. 840 inflation rate percent, 840% inflation rate. Punara, to which category does it belong? Hyperinflation, galloping inflation, or moderate inflation?
Hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation. If annual rate is more than 100%, I mean 3 digits, that is called hyperinflation. Understand how we, where we were. Okay, the lamai. So it was really dangerous situation, lamai. Prices of goods and services kept on rising like a rocket. Okay, then entire economy kept on moving to a mess. That's very huge recession alone with unemployment, level of unemployment. Okay, the lamai. Anyway, even though we experienced 70% monthly inflation rate in September 2022, Puta, the Sri Lankan Central Bank was strong enough to bring the economy back normal. Which means Puta, inflation monthly 70% from one single digit. Central bank asked Puta, what are the main factors? What are the main factors uh, which have contributed Sri Lanka's inflation to be contained at one single digit, or we can say what are the main reasons, or what are the main factors that have contributed inflation rate in Sri Lanka to decrease. Okay, the lamai, inflation rate to decrease by 2023, end of 2023. Now lama economy is stable. What are the main factors? In other words, Puta, we can say, how did central bank reduce the increasing or rising inflation rate, right? How did central bank bring the economy back to the normal, to a one single digit inflation rate? Putha, this question won't be tested again, but you should know the reasons, and this is practical question, Lamai. Okay, you should know. Then if you can answer this question, Lamai, number one, you should have practical side, practical knowledge. Other one, Putha, you should have thorough understanding on uh, the reasons for inflation. So when you do this question, Lamai, you can learn a lot, right? My next question, Buddha, what is the main reasons for inflations? What are the main, I ask me, what are the main reasons for inflation? What are the main causes? Huh?
Supplying more money than needed.
Yes, somewhat okay. But what are the main factors affecting inflation? Yes, that's the one part of reasons for inflation. Mainly, how many reasons there, Punara? Two. Demand full and what is other one? I ask me. Another demand pull and cost push. Demand pull and cost push. These are the main reasons for inflation, Putha. I'm not talking about the factors, that have contributed inflation to reduce. No, I'm talking about what are the main reasons, Putha. Okay, first one is demand pull. Demand pull. Second one, I ask me cost push or supply push. Cost push. What is mean by demand pull? What is mean by demand pull and how does it occur? Punara, I need answers. Hurry up. Ayatmi, I'm waiting for answers.
When the aggregate demand of an economy increases more than the aggregate supply.
Aggregate supply. Yes, that.
The general price level increase.
Increases. Very good. So that demand pull inflation mean the main reason for demand pull inflation is increase in aggregate demand. Lama. Is in aggregate demand. What are the parts of aggregate demand? Lama? Aggregate demand contains 4 parts: consumption, investment, government expenditure, and net export. So if these components increase, one of them, all of them increase, Buddha, aggregate demand increase. Aggregate demand increase means finally demand full inflation arises. Okay, what is mean by cost push inflation? Cost push inflation. Cost to push inflation mean general price level starts to rise, which is identified as inflation due to reduction in aggregate supply. Reduction in aggregate supply. Aggregate supply falls now. Aggregate supply curve shifts to the left side. What is the main reason for aggregate supply to reduce? Ayatmi, Punara?
Increase in the cost of production.
Yes, increase in cost of production. Increase in cost of production. Increase in cost. So that these are the reasons for demand. Inflation. In 2020, Putha, September, we went up to 70% inflation, right? We touched the 70% inflation, that level, due to these two reasons, Lamai. Right? Did you get what I'm saying? So, due to these two reasons, Lamai, we experienced 70% inflation rate in 2022, September, mainly. Okay, Lamai. I think while I was explaining that the reasons for inflation, I told you that that Sri Lankan inflation episode, initially it was driven by demand pull inflation, because to cover up COVID-19 expenses of COVID-19 pandemic, government had to print more money. Then more high-powered money issued, and money supply went up, consumption, investment, went up, then aggregate demand increased. Finally, as a result, inflation rate increased. Other one, then finally, Buddha, it was moving towards cost push inflation. Okay, the Lamai. The initial, start, start came from demand full side, increase in aggregate demand. Finally, Buddha, then it kept on moving to cost push. Cost push mean aggregate supply falls. Aggregate supply falls mainly because of increase in cost of production. Mainly increase in raw material cost, increase in labor cost, it's been wage. Then put supply shocks. That's one of the main factors affected Sri Lankan inflation, like currency depreciation. Sri Lankan foreign, the rupee depreciated sharply. Okay, dollar rate, if you can remember, 2022 March. 2022 March, inflation, the $1 equals to the 224 rupees, 225 rupees LKR. Within 1 day, right? Within 1 day or 2 days, this rate went up to more than 350 rupees LKR. Within 1 day, Lamai. This is called currency depreciation. Rupee has depreciated against US dollar. Rupee has depreciated against US dollar. Okay, Huta, if rupee depreciates, what happens? The cost of imported goods starts to rise. Okay, so cost of fuel, I mean oil, cost of especially raw materials imported from other countries, all, right? Everything from, the small, maybe one unit of rice to maybe vehicles, right? All price, the domestic price of imported goods increase. That finally aggregate supply cost of production increases and aggregate supply falls. Okay, so these are another main one, Puta, during Sri Lankan, that if you can remember, I think during that time, 2019, which grade did you learn at Lamai? Which grade you were at 2000 in 2019? 1920? O level? Not O level. Grade 9, 6, 7?
Grade 6.
Grade 6. Okay, Lamai. So you can't remember, I think, what actually happened. But anyway, for that 2019, the Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government introduced a policy called organic fertilizer policy. What does it mean, Lamai? Our president wanted, farmers to cultivate paddy, tea, and vegetables using only organic fertilizer. Then Puta, the former president banned importing chemical fertilizers, Puta, right? Then finally, the president expected, farmers to cultivate vegetables and everything using organic, and the president, that government expected production to rise now. Then finally, it happened opposite. It means Puta, the production went down. Paddy production, the decreased sharply, and vegetable supply was, at risk. Tea production decreased. Okay, the Lamai. Then everything went wrong. Then finally, Buddha, this is called supply shocks. Can you remember temporary problems? Then finally, Buddha, vegetable prices and price of rice, everything started to rise. Okay, the Lamai. That belongs to a cost push inflation. And these are the reasons I'm explaining. The reasons contributed Sri Lankan inflation in 2022-2021 during the crisis. Then Lamai, but question is asking you to explain, not explain, I think just point wise you can answer. How, what are the factors that have contributed inflation rate to reduce? What are the measures did central bank take to overcome the high rate of inflation in 2020? I mean, after 2022. This is the question, Lawan. Then Puta, if inflation is caused by these two reasons, Puta, if you want to, or if central bank wants to avoid the rate of inflation, Lamai, what can we do? We have to reduce, Puta. If aggregate demand increases, what is the solution? We have to reduce the aggregate demand. Did you get the point? If consumers spend more on goods and services, which is known as consumption expenditure, we have to reduce the consumption. Okay, the Lamai. Example, Buddha, then if for the Sri Lankan rupee depreciates, then causing cost push inflation, Lamai, then we have to avoid, right? Central bank has a responsibility to avoid currency depreciation, Lamai. We have to stop that. Okay, the Lamai, right? Then we have to explain, you have to write down the factors contributed inflation rate to go down. Go down mean, Lamai, opposite of all these factors. Are you clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
Remonia, good evening. Remoni, we did 1 hour session today from 7:30 to 8:30, which was about press part of chapter 8, lesson number 8. It was all about market failure and market system failure. Then I stopped at one point and jump to 2024 money and banking question. Okay, the Laman. Okay. 2024 money and banking question. Now I'm doing first one is done. We're talking about second one. About right. These are the okay. Then Buddha, we can move into the factors. So how did central bank manage this rise in inflation rate? Right. Put forget cost push inflation, forget aggregate supply. Uh, we will complete that the entire the solutions to reduce aggregate demand. Right. Let's talk about reduction in aggregate demand. How can central bank reduce aggregate demand? Punara. Right. Putha, remember, if central bank wants to reduce aggregate demand, central bank mainly central bank can mainly use two economic policies. Lama. These are called demand side policies. One is monetary policy, other one is fiscal policy. We have already discussed monetary policy, which is all about money supply and interest rate, but we haven't discussed fiscal policy yet. Okay, Dalamai. So let's talk about monetary policy. Punara, tell me how can central bank reduce aggregate demand using monetary policy? Which type of monetary policies should central bank use to reduce aggregate demand? There are two types of monetary policies, if you can remember: contractionary monetary policy and expansionary monetary policy. Okay, which one should central bank use to overcome or reduce rise in aggregate demand?
Contractionary monetary policy.
Yes, contractionary monetary policy. Yes, contractionary monetary policy is where central bank increases increases interest rate. After what happened to that? Do you have connection problem? Help me. Hello. Pudha, can you write down these two factors? I mean, not in the answer. You can use a stick note or something, or in your writing book. These are the factors affecting demand full inflation and cost push. Then we can discuss how to avoid these factors. How to avoid these. Ayatma, can you hear me, Pudha? Hello. Right. Um, yeah. Then Pudha, central. If central bank wants to reduce aggregate demand, or if central bank wants to avoid demand full inflation, the central bank should use contractionary monetary policy. Very good, Punara. Contractionary monetary policy. Buddha. Contractionary monetary policy is where central bank increase interest rates. Now. When interest rates are increased, Ramoni, both consumption expenditure and investment expenditure decrease. Both consumption and investment decrease because of high cost of borrowings. Now. Because high interest rate mean both consumers and investors borrow less borrowings mean Putta, they have less amount of money, then both spending on consumption and investment will fall. Then Putta, aggregate demand will decrease. Then central bank can reduce the rise in inflation rate. Central bank can bring the economy, I mean high rate of inflation to the normal one single digit. So yeah, one policy which central bank used was to increase interest rate lamai. So we can say Putta contractionary monetary policy. Contractionary monetary policy. That is a one factors, right? The one of the factors contributed inflation to reduce now, right? So write down, you can say first reason is Putta central bank used which monetary policy? Contractionary monetary policy. Contractionary monetary policy to reduce aggregate demand. If you want, you can explain Buddha how it happens, but it's in this question no need to explain. But I think it's better to explain, then you can understand the real logic behind this question. Okay, the lamai. So what is the main reason for what is the factor contributed inflation to be reduced, lamai? The reason. First one, the central bank used contractionary monetary policy, or we can say put a tight monetary policy. First one is CBSL used contractionary, or we can say put a tight monetary policy. Monetary policy. So that this is enough for 1 mark. But I think it's better to explain. Better for you to explain the actual reason behind this. Okay, the Buddha. You can use a sticky note, or I think you got what I said. In the marking screen, Buddha, 1 mark is given for this factor, because that the question is not asking you to explain just point wise, but you know, if you can explain the reason behind this, explain you can if you can explain the logic behind this, it would be better. Okay, the Lama, because this question won't come again, right? You can say under the contractionary monetary policy, Lama, interest rate increased, are increased, then both cost of borrowings increase. I'll write down the flow of this process. Number one, Putha, in the contractionary monetary policy, R increase. R mean interest rate. When interest rate increase, Lamai, cost of borrowings. That is the word, cost of borrowings. Cost of borrowings increase. This means Putha, the consumers, both consumers and investors have to pay high interest. Okay, high cost of borrowings mean Lamai. What happens to loans? I mean the borrowings. Or we can say borrowings. Borrowings discourage, reduce. When borrowings discourage, Lamai, both consumption and investment discourage. Why? For high cost of borrowings. So the C and I are called interest sensitive components. What does it mean? Interest sensitive components of aggregate demand, C and I, because these two components are highly sensitive, right? Sensitive for investment. What does it mean, Buddha? When interest rate changes, C and I are subject to change. I mean, it suddenly changes, Lama, right? If interest rates are changed by central bank, Buddha, we can expect C and I to change. It's very common and very simple process. So these are called interest sensitive components of aggregate demand, right? Then both C and I decrease. Then finally, what happens, Lama? When C and I decrease, mean the aggregate demand decreases. When aggregate demand decreases, we can avoid demand full inflation. We can avoid demand full inflation. If you have any doubt, Pudha, let me know. තමයි 2024 annual report එක අරගෙන පොඩ්ඩක් කියවන්න. දැන් ඔයාලට මේ ඔක්කොම මේ පොර්ටල් අර ලොකු පොතක් තියෙන එක ගන්න එපා. ඔයාලා ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ money and ඒකේ sections wise එයා මේ separately එම දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට ඔයාලට පුළුවන් money and banking වල අපි එකට කියන්නේ මොකක්ද chapter 6 මම හිතන්නේ monetary policy නෑ. monetary policy හරි මොකක් හරි එහෙම එකක් ඇත්තේ. ඒ චැප්ටර් එක විතරක් ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරලා print out එකක් අරගෙන කියවන්න ළමයි. ක්ලියර්ද? එතකොට මේවා මහා ලොකු දේවල් නෙමෙයි. හරිද? ඔයාටම තේරෙන. එතකොට අර තියරි එක ඒ කියන්නේ අර මේ ලෙසන්ස් වලට ළමයි ඒ knowledge එක තියෙන්න ඕන. අර demand and supply ඒවා normal කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේවට ලොකු idea එකක් තියෙන්න නැත්තම් කරන්න. ක්ලියර්ද? එතකොට ඔයා නිකන් ඉන්න වෙලාවක ළමයි ඒ ටික අරගෙන කියවන්න. හරිද? ඔක්කොම කියවන්න බෝරින් නම් අඩුම අර මොකද්ද මේන් ටොපික්ස් ටිකවත් highlight කරන්න. එකල ඔයාට හරියන නෝට් එකක් ඔයා හදාගන්න. ක්ලියර්ද? ඊට පස්සේ money and banking දැන් කොහොමත් ඉවරනේ ඔයාට ඒකේ පොඩි එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ කොයි high powered money supply කොච්චරද 2024 වල high powered money how does it change? ඕකේද ළමයි? And M to B, then especially money multiplier. Okay, ළමයි what happened for money multiplier in 2024, 2025. Okay, ළමයි. ඒ ඔක්කොම ඔයාට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. මම කියන්න ඕනේ නෑ ළමයි. Clear? දැන් මේකෙත් ළමයි taxes, government expenditure and government debt, public debt. ඒකටත් ඒ chapter එක අරගෙන ඔයා කියවන්න. හරි. යන්න central bank මේ යන්න website එකට. CBSL කියලා ගහන්න නැත්නම් CBSL annual report කියලා ගන්න ඔක්කොම 2024 එක ගන්න. අරගෙන අර chapter එකෙන් chapter එකට ඔයා print outs අරගෙන කියවන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඔක්කොම ඔයාලට තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ගොඩක් ඒවා තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ මේ mainly අර ඔයාට ටිකක් ටච් වෙන ටික අරගෙන පොඩි ෂෝට් නෝට් එකක් අරගෙන මේන්ලි පොඩි නෝට් එකක් හදාගන්න සෙපරේට්. හරිද? ඒව ළමයි අර එක්සෑම් ලඟ වෙනකන් ඉන්න එපා. හරිද? Report and questions were given through that. Same Puda. Today also same. Same story. Yeah, this the message is 100% true. What your auntie said. Yes, today also same. Then example Buddha, to answer this question, you should have understanding, right? The students should have, more knowledge or practical knowledge. That practical knowledge, Buddha, given by your annual report. Because we are not researchers, so normally Buddha, we don't read newspapers and economic related articles in the newspapers. Not common Buddha, so it's better the main sources for us is annual report. Clear the number. Example, question number last question Buddha, question number 9 and 10 in your second paper. It's been chapter 11 and 12, economic growth and development and Sri Lankan economy after the independence, purely based on a practical side level. Annual report. Okay, that's why most students don't attempt those questions. Grade 12 part Buddha, for micro part, no, last two lessons belong to macro. Micro part does not require much practical knowledge. Annual report date and what's actually happening. Example 2024 Buddha, how many questions regarding IMF, loan installment and IMF proposal? Students should know that. Okay, the lamai. No, what I need to say, no need to refer additional something lamai. Annual report is in. Okay, the lamai. But it's a bit hard because for students, lamai, A-level students, it's too much. But you can't say that it's too much. I can't read. Have to, pick the main important areas which are relevant for you. Okay, the lamai. Shall we move on? Ayatmi, Remoni.
Okay.
Unara.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Second one, Puta, the CBSL used contracting or tight monetary policy. Second one, Puta, then let's talk about then aggregate demand. One side is okay. Then let's talk about second reason. Then tell me, Puta, how to reduce. Then C and I are done. Okay, we discuss how to reduce C and I using monetary policy. Puta, how to reduce government expenditure. Forget monetary policy. If government wants to decrease, if government wants to reduce aggregate demand, government has to decrease G part. G mean government expenditure. G mean government expenditure. Okay, the lamai. If government wants to reduce lamai aggregate demand, government has to reduce G. මෙයාව අඩු කරන්න ඕන නම් මෙයාව ළමයි වැඩි කළා හරියන්නේ නැහැ නේ. ඒතකොට government එකට පොඩි discipline එකක් තියෙනවා. Government expenditure mean පුතා the expenses incurred by government to buy goods and services. Example පුතා the government has to buy goods and services to continue with services. Example is schools, school teachers have to be paid salaries, railway, hospitals, defense lamai ලංකාවේ මාර expense එකක් යනවා national defense වලට, police. Okay ද ළමයි. ඊට පස්සේ තව මොනවාද? infrastructure facilities. ඊට පස්සේ තව මොනවාද ළමයි? ගොඩක් තියෙනවානේ. The government has to spend for some activities ළමයි. Right? So even in market economy, government has a role. Can you remember the lesson, Lamai? Government has an unavoidable role. Okay, the Lamai. In that role, government has to spend Lamai. So government had to reduce government expenditures. But during COVID pandemic, especially, what happens to G? Went up, right? It kept on rising due to COVID-19 expenses. That was the one of the reasons contributed high rate of inflation in 2022. Then Puta government realized that the government should reduce government expenditures, right? We couldn't spend more. No, we have to reduce our expenditures. Then Puta government reduce expenditures, right? Government reduce expenditures that belongs to fiscal or monetary fiscal policy. So that fiscal policy is all about taxes and government expense and also budget. Forget budget part, budget but deficit financing. Forget that part, government expenditures and taxes. If government changes taxes and government expenditures, that policy is called fiscal policy. Okay, the lamai. Then Buddha, if government reduces G, that is called contractionary fiscal policy. Then Buddha, the one main reasons contributed inflation to reduce Buddha was what's called contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, the lamai. So second reason Buddha, we can say government used contractionary fiscal policy where government expenditures were reduced to overcome high rate of inflation. Okay, the lamai. In the marking scheme Buddha, they have used separate word. They have said physical discipline. Fiscal discipline. It means contractionary fiscal. Okay, the lamai. Both are okay. No any doubt. Okay, the lamai. If you brought that contractionary fiscal policy where expenditures are cut to reduce aggregate demand lamai, no any doubt would be full marks. Right? No need to follow marking scheme answers as it is you can't lamai, because this is prepared by the panel of professors. Right? We can't go into that level, even myself. Okay, the lamai. You can use your own words, but it should be the related one, right? You can't say something else. I mean, what I need to say, no need exact words, no need don't try to write the exact thing or exact thing in the marking stream. You can't do it. Don't try to hatapada lamai. It's going to work out, right? This is A level lamai. No level, it's okay. A level, make your own standard. Make your own method, lamai. Together one. My method is lamai. I read a lot. My method in A level time, lamai. Right? I can't memorize anything. I read a lot, right? And I try to apply practically this everything. The reading is the that's the most the point that helped me to learn this subject. Example, if you buy Sunday Times, okay, how many economic articles, Lama? How many economic articles writers there? Okay, there's a professor called Sirima Laberatna from University of Colombo. Wonderful writer, Lama. Okay, the Lama. He explains every concept. I mean, how practically these concepts are applied. Okay, the Lama. I wrote not sorry. I wrote read one article that Professor Sirima Laberatna after the budget lama 2025 November, after the president presented the budget to the parliament, was wonderful. How economic concepts are practically applied. Okay, the lama. There are so many economic articles, right? You sometimes with okay, you may not be able to understand everything, but better to read lama. Yeah. Right. Okay. Second one, Huda, you can say improved fiscal discipline. Second factor is improved fiscal discipline. Second one is improved fiscal discipline. Improved fiscal. Improved fiscal. Physical එහෙම නෙමෙයි ළමයි වෙන එකක්. Fiscal, right? Fiscal. Fiscal policy, not physical, something else. Fiscal, right? FISCAL. Fiscal mean it's all about taxes and government expenditure. Right? Improved fiscal discipline. Okay, then put up improved fiscal discipline refers to contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, then within bracket, if you want, write down government reduced. G government reduced government expenditures. Government expenditures while enhancing, or we can say while increasing tax revenue, tax collection. Okay, the government increased tax rates also. ඔයාලට මතක නම් අර TIN number එකක් එහෙම introduce කරේ ළමයි. Clear. TIN එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ එහෙම කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ tax ගෙවන්න ඕන ගොඩක් අය. එහෙම law එකක් ආවේ tax rates ඔක්කොම increase කරා, income tax rates. Okay, the ළමයි. VAT rate increased by Ranil Wickremesinghe government. Okay, the ළමයි. Then everything related with this fiscal discipline. Okay, reduce G while enhancing tax collection. But how tax collection affects high tax collection affects aggregate demand? It will be discussed later on. This is how it affects. Lama, if government imposes high income tax rates, consumers' disposable income falls, right? But remember this relationship. Disposable income, YD, is allocated for two purposes, C and S. C means consumption, S means saving. Okay, the line. When tax rates are increased, tax rates mean I'm talking about income tax rates. Okay, income tax rates. When income direct taxes, if income tax rates increase, puta, example, assume normal now tax rate is 10%. That tax rate is increased by the government up to 20%. What does it mean? People have to pay more taxes. More taxes mean lamai disposable income reduces. When disposable income reduces, lamai consumption expenditure reduces. Both consumption and saving Consumption falls mean one part of aggregate demand. When consumption falls, aggregate demand falls, and we can overcome demand full inflation. Okay, the lama. Right. This is called improved fiscal discipline. No need these words, lama. You can explain the same point using, simple words. Okay, the lama. Right. Oh, sorry. Right. Give me 1 minute. Marking scheme there, lama. Then I'll share the marking scheme. Explain other point. Um, lama. Um, can't you see the screen, lama? No, right? But this is the marking scheme. I'll explain other points using marking scheme. It's better. But the press this is okay. Tight monetary policy, okay. Improved physical discipline is okay. It's better to add this IMF support program because without the government had to improve physical discipline because of government IMF loan. IMF said to the IMF asked government to, it was like a not rule like by post level. IMF said, I am told the government, right? If you want my loan, please reduce government expenditures while increasing taxes. Then government had to do it. But don't worry about because it will be discussed later. Then Lamai, can you read the third point with us? Stabilization of exchange rate. Right, I told you at the beginning of this question, Buddha, the Sri Lankan currency rupee depreciated sharply in 2022. As I told you, 2025 2022 March, $1 was 225 rupees. Buddha, it went up to 3 rupees within 2 days, within less than even 1 week. Then Buddha, it kept on rising. Finally, Lama, if you can remember, Buddha, $1 went up to even 460 rupees in black market. Okay, the Lama. So when foreign currency depreciates, Sri Lankan rupee depreciates, Lama, price of imported goods, both raw materials and other goods, increase, causing cost push inflation, Lama. Remember, this stabilization of exchange rate goes to controlling cost push inflation. After 2022 23, that the rupee, Sri Lankan rupee started to stabilize. ඒ කියන්නේ ආයෙ මොකක්ද උනේ ළමයි අර 400 460 වලට ගියපු රේට් එක ආයෙ normal 300 වලට ආවා ළමයි. දැන් 300 නේද යන්නේ almost 300 302 ඔය වගේ නේ යන්නේ ළමයි. එතකොට අපේ රේට් එක ආය රුපිය එක ඇප්‍රීෂিয়েට් වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. ඒක රීසන්ස් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා ළමයි ඒක වැඩි හිතන්න එපා. දැනට ඔයා ස්ටැබිලයිසේෂන් of මට මෙච්චරයි ළමයි දැන් මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක ආයෙ නැති වෙයි. හැබැයි ඔයා මතක තියාගන්න මොන ෆැක්ට් එකකටද යන්නේ? what is the main reason behind? Example, tight monetary policy is used to control uh, demand full inflation. Improved fiscal discipline also helps to reduce demand full. Second one goes to supply push. After experiencing a sharp depreciation in 2022, the Sri Lankan rupee stabilized, supported by measures such as මෙන්න මේවා තමයි ළමයි main reasons. Import restrictions. ඒ මතකද අපිට මේ import වාහනෙම ගෙන්නුවේ නැහැ ළමයි. මතකද? restrict දැම්මා. ඒකේ ඕනි උනේ ළමයි අර rate එක ආය normal back to normal ගේන්න මේ. හරිද? Improvements in balance of payment. This stabilization reduce imported inflation. Imported inflation කියන්නේ cost push. If you can remember the reasons for cost push inflation lamai, one reason is imported inflation. If you want more explanations, let me know. Any doubt? Right, then put a supply chain normalization. That is about supply shocks lamai. Read it very carefully. As global supply chains gradually recovered from disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic and Russia-Ukraine war, the cost of imported goods, including food and fuel, began to stabilize. 2022, Buddha, it went on rising, right? Then finally, Buddha, the supply chain, world supply chain, Buddha, now we are in a very, the globalized economy. What is meant by globalization? That is the one lesson of chapter 11. Okay, the lamai. We won't be able to discuss every point in chapter 11, 10, 11 and 12 in detail, right? Because it's a huge lesson, right? I'll be doing it, but not like in detail, lama, it might be 5 to 6 months, big lesson, practical one. I'll explain every knock and corner, but not like all in detail, lama, right? It's impossible, right? Anyway, we are living in a globalization means the entire world has created or has formed a one single market. Globalization, forming a one single market. Right now we are talking about one single international market. That's globalization. So if something happens for one country, it affects all over the world, all other countries. Okay, the lama example, Russia-Ukraine war lama. It one of the incident, right? Happened in only between Russia and Ukraine. But it, affected all countries, especially supply chain. Example lama, the Sri Lankan economy also, it was hit by this Ukraine-Russia war. Example, the Sri Lankan tourism lama. Talking Sri Lankan tourism, more I think second or third, the highest, the tourists coming from Russia. Okay, the lamai. Then when there is a war in Russia, do they come to Sri Lanka lamai? No, and Ukraine same. Then the income from tourism went down, and we export tea to Russia. Okay, then they all are connected. Then if something happens, lama, it affects all countries in the world. So especially COVID-19 lamai, during 2020, 2021, 2022, entire world supply chain was affected, negatively affected lamai, but with time by 2023 it was normalized. Then lamai, this also affects imported goods, including food and fuel, began to stabilize. To which category does it belong? Demand full or cost push? Unara? Yes. Demand pull or cost push?
Sorry, sir, what was the question?
Supply chain normalization, to which category does it belong? Demand pull or cost push?
Cost push?
Cost push. Okay, the lamai. Then reduction in global commodity prices. Then 2022 වල ළමයි අපි කලින් government එකට මිනිස්සු බැන්නනේ ළමයි. ඒක ඉතින් යාළගේ luck එක නෙමෙයි මොකද්ද? They were really unlucky. No. Their bad behavior really affected. I'm not talking about a Rajapaksa regime. Their bad behavior, they did not have fiscal discipline at all. Okay, the lamai. And all organizations were, not independent. Government intervention was there. So anyway, that bad behavior directly affects Sri Lankan economic crisis. But lamai, other some factors, global factors also affected lamai. Example, increase in oil prices. During 2022, lamai, the oil prices, global oil prices, kept on rising. Okay, the lamai. Then it's totally out of control, lamai. Totally out of control. It affects cost push inflation. දැන් ඔයා නිකන් හිතන්න ළමයි crude oil price increase වුණොත් world market එකේ මෙහෙට ඔක දැන් හිතන්න මෙහෙට ගේනකොට ඔක price එක double වෙනවනේ ළමයි. Clear? ඒ taxes නේද, shipping cost ඔක්කොම add කරනවානේ. ඒතර මෙහේ ළමයි oil වල price එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? ඒ ළමයි 50 to 60% electricity generated by that coal power. ඔය නොරොච්චෝලේ ඔක්කොම coal power නේ ළමයි. ඒ වගේ price එක වැඩි. ඒතකොට electricity prices වැඩි වෙනවා. Electricity prices වැඩි වෙනකොට ළමයි cost of production increase වෙනවා, especially garments, textiles, apparels හැම එකකම cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා ළමයි. නේද? එතකොට ඒකේ cost එක වැඩි. Transportation cost ළමයි අම්මෝ නේද? When transporting vegetables from maybe Dambulla to Colombo, maybe Polonnaruwa to Colombo, fish from maybe Negombo to Colombo, all price double maybe triple lamai. Clear lamai. But when it comes to 2023, mid 2023 lamai, again global oil prices started to reduce. Okay, the lamai. A moderation of global oil prices and food prices since mid 2023 played a key role in reducing cost push inflation. Okay, the lamai. It was one of the main reasons, right? Then Puta, just remember implementation of structural reforms. These are something additional because only 4 points enough. Example, I'll read it one time. Reforms aimed at improving countries' macroeconomic stability. Lamai. Actually, Ranil Wickremesinghe, our former president, be given the credit for this lamai. Regardless of our political party, what we admire and what we okay, the lamai. Whatever criticisms for Ranil Wickremesinghe lamai, we need to adhere, we need to sort of admire that economic policy which was introduced and implemented during that time period. It really helped Sri Lanka to come to the normal point. Okay, including debt restructuring. Debt restructuring can lamai because we were doing default lamai. Sri Lanka was named as default country. You're not able to pay our debt. It does a debt restructuring already. Debt restructuring and improvements in governance helped restore investor confidence. That is really important, lamai. And economic stability. These efforts contributed to controlling inflationary expectation in the country. Okay, the lamai. I'm not going to explain these points in detail, lamai. Time. Second one, puta, external financial support, puta. The external financial support mainly came from IMF loan. Sri Lanka was given 3.7 billion US dollar billion in 2023 lamai. It really helped to stabilize, okay, the lamai exchange rate lamai. IMF and other international financial institutions provided financial assistance loans which helped stabilize the economy and exchange rate ළමයි. ඔය loan එක අපිට IMF එක දුන්නට අපි ගොඩක් ඔය dollar rate එක අපේ ගොඩක් අඩු වුණේ කියන්නේ. 400 වලට වගේ තිබ්බ එක 320 වලට වගේ ආවේ loan එකත්. නේද? ඒක financial අපි මේ exchange market එක කතා කරමු. හරිද ළමයි? මේක ළමයි mainly four factors වලට හරිද? මොන හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. Am I too speed? Am I?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then just write down points. No need much explanations and remember. So that here you can learn a lot regarding reasons for inflation, right? Demand full cost push, right? Shall we move on? Ayatmi, Remoni.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Punara, Remoni,
Okay, sir.
Mitamba. Are you okay with that? Okay. Right. Next question. Right. First one okay. Second one okay. Third one. Explain why policy makers focus on දැන් මේක නම් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ළමයි හරිද මේක ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් එකක් නෙමෙයි මේක normal theory point explain why policy makers focus on core inflation rather than headline inflation in setting monetary explain why policy makers focus on rather than headline inflation in setting core inflation rather than headline inflation there are two types of inflations lamai core inflation and headline inflation. Headline inflation is the inflation rate which is shown by your price indexes. Okay, if central bank calculates annual inflation rate based on your price indexes, the inflation rate which is given by price index itself is called headline inflation. Headline inflation puta is caused by two main reasons. Number one is that permanent price changes, that is called non-reversible price changes, plus temporary supply shocks. Okay, the lamai. Core inflation is the inflation which is adjusted for, adjusted or the inflation rate which is calculated by removing unnecessary price fluctuations which are caused by temporary supply shocks. That is called core inflation or underlying inflation. Clear? Yes, Lamai, in monetary policy makings, monetary policy and economic policy makings, core inflation is widely used because headline inflation it is it includes everything right so we use headline inflation widely than we use core inflation rather than headline inflation. Could I explain now points wise? No, it's not going to save you, right? Explain. You take 1 point, explain it in detail, 4 marks. Okay, the lamai. Fourth one, lamai. What would be the impact of an increase in statutory reserve ratio on SRR, on money supply and the banking system ability to create money. Simple නේද ළමයි 4 marks. මේක ළමයි අර question එක හොඳට මේ break down the questions properly. Example, read it 3 times ළමයි. Example, what would be the impact of an increase in statutory reserve ratio? It's talking about statutory reserve ratio. On the, there are two parts. You should explain impact on or impact of increase in SRR on both money supply and banking systems ability to create money. හරිද? එතකොට 2 marks යන්නේ මොකටද ළමයි? Impact on money supply. Other 2 marks are given to bank systems ability to create. Okay ද ළමයි? පුතා uh, which tune is this question asked from? First one, there are 4 tudes lamai. First one, that main monetary concepts, money and related concepts. Second one, commercial banking system. Third one, central bank and monetary policy. Fourth one, what is fourth one lamai? Price level. Puta, to which tude or which part of the lesson does this question belong?
The second part.
Yeah, second or third, yeah. Because in third one, Puta, we discussed monetary policy and how SRR is used to control money supply. Yeah. Second or third, yes. So you can explain it. Give a try. For the fifth one, explain. Read these keywords very carefully, lamai. Get the idea. And Buddha, look at the marks given. This keyword and marks given. Okay, the Buddha, your eye, okay, should be at mainly that keyword of the question and how many marks given. Then put and read question very well. The concept of interest rate corridor. Explain the concept of interest corridor and analyze its role in monetary policy. Can you remember Putta? Interest rate corridor? Anyone? How is it formed by central bank? Yes, interest rate corridor. What is it, Lamai? Monetary policy. Sorry, interest rate corridor. And you remember interest rate corridor. Interest rate corridor. Unara, can't you remember? Remoni? Ayatmi?
It is used to maintain the short-term interest rates.
Say it properly, Putta. It's not completed. STFR and SLFR policy interest rates are used by central bank as boundaries, upper boundary and lower boundary. For what? What is the main? Tell me, Putta, at least what is the main, the purpose of forming such a corridor? To avoid unnecessary අනේදරු මේ ටික බලන්න අපරාධ නැත්. අයත්මි රෙමෝනි මතක නැද්ද පුතා? වීඩියෝස් ටික ආයෙ බලන්න නැත් අපරාධ. The main purpose of forming or creating interest rate corridor is to avoid unnecessary fluctuations in both. Now, fluctuations mean both, up and downs in where? interbank call money market interbank call money market. Because puta, if interbank call money market interest rate mean puta, interest rate which is what? Which is relevant for borrowings in interbank call money market between banks, one banks. Okay, the lamai. Example, puta, if Sampath Bank wants to borrow 50 million from HNB, HNB expects Sampath to pay rate interest. That is called interbank call money market. Okay, the puta, if this is a key point, lamai, this is called hub of interest rate policy or interest rate. Because if this hub, okay, the lamai, if interbank call money market interest rate changes, okay, the lamai, entire, you know, interest rate structure of the economy, I mean normal interest rate of the economy changes, right? So if there are so many fluctuations, right, if there are more fluctuations in interbank call money market interest rates, lamai, there will be more fluctuations in normal market interest rate in the economy. That is not good. Okay, the lamai is not good at all. So we have to avoid large fluctuations in interbank call money market. Remember the word lamai. Interbank call money market. Okay, the lamai. So this is not the answer for the question. This is, I'm talking about theory background behind this question. Interest rate corridor. This is interest rate corridor, lamai. There are two boundaries: upper boundary, upper limit, and lower limit, lamai. Upper limit is SDFR, standing deposit facility rate. Lower boundaries, standing deposit facility rate. Putha, now it's, I think, 8.25 rate. No, 7.25. Sorry, 7.25. Upper boundaries SLFR. SLFR කියන මොකක්ද ළමයි? 8.25 standing lending facility rate. Okay, ළමයි. Central bank wants to keep interbank call money market interest rate within these two rates, lamai, SDFR and SLF. SDFR and SLF. Okay, the lamai. Remember the gap between these two interest rate always 1%, 100 basic point. Okay, the lamai 1% again interbank call money market interest rate එක change වෙන්න ළමයි within 1%. බලන්නකො stability එක. තේද? මාර stable. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක මෙතනින් උඩට යන්නෙත් නෑ. හරිද? It does not exceed SLFR rate. We have explained everything ළමයි in detail. Okay, the ළමයි, and also පුතා this rate does not go down right beyond that SDFR rate. Then unnecessary fluctuations can be avoided. Okay, the ළමයි, that is the main. This is called interest rate corridor. Corridor means narrow area. Interest main purpose of interest rate corridor is to keep or maintain interbank call money market interest rates within a predetermined very short or narrow range with less fluctuations. Okay, if central bank can reduce fluctuations in interbank call money market, central bank can reduce fluctuations in normal market interest rate as well, which is called stability in interest rate structure. Okay, that is really, really important for economy to run very smoothly. Okay, any doubt? This is not the answer. This is the theory background, theory background behind interest rate corridor. Ayatmi? Okay, the lamai.
Yes, sir.
Right. Buddha, you can do this question as homework. Explain yourself, Lamai. I don't expect you to write perfect answers, Lamai. No, no, no. But you can do it as you can. You can't be perfect, Lamai, even myself. Make mistakes, learn from it. That's how we learn, Lamai. Do it, Lamai. That is the only thing I need. Right? Please do these 3 questions, Lamai. If you can't remember, Lamai, you have been given a wonderful opportunity, Lamai. All recordings are in the LMS, Lamai. If you want, you can go and watch. In a physical class, Lamai, you are not given such a facility. Though you underestimate that, that's a wonderful, Lamai. Okay, the 1 single rupee is not charged for previous recordings. You can go and watch. Take the maximum benefits from this class, Lamai. Very small. Sorry, the small number of students there. Then you can ask any. It's like a small group class. Okay, the Lamai. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait for the perfect movement. For perfect movement, no, it doesn't come. Perfect time, no, 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 never comes. Right? Do it like, but maybe small step today. It's wonderful. It's very important, Lamai. Clear. Do it step by step. Today night, Lamai, maybe on one answer for one question. If you can't remember headline inflation and core inflation, Lamai, don't forget it. You can go to LMS and you can watch videos, then get the idea and make your own answer. If you can't remember interest rate corridor, Lamai, you can go to LMS and take the idea and make your own answer. Okay, the Lamai. Lamai, remember the second part is not easy, right? Uh, Keep practicing, right? Write answers. If you have any doubt, let me know. I expect that from you, Lamai. Right? Okay, Lamai. That's with that. I'm going to wind up the class. That's enough today. But if you can send me answers. I can check your answers and let you know what are the mistakes you have done. Up to you. Okay, the Lamai. Right. Make a very take time and make a good answer for these the last 3 questions. I have already done press answers for press one and okay. Okay, Lamai, that's enough today. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow, Lamai, please come to the class because I'll be doing the wonderful section regarding core goods. Okay, the Lamai. Normally, that part is tested in your exam every year, right? Okay, Lamai, that's enough today. See you tomorrow at 1:30. Bye. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Good night, sir.
Night.
Recording.